up and laughing and joking and eating shit and just basically throwing on whatever clothes are on the floor. And after about 4 days, you look at yourself and you just think, I'm a disgrace here. Look at me. You know, every guy in this bar is just basically wearing 4-day-old socks, and it's just spent,
you know what I like?
spent 6 months away.
I like knowing that there's my territory to go to. I can hang out in the bar with the boys, but the back of my mind is like, where's my spot? Where's my territory? It's got my wife and kids in it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know who I spoke to a couple of days ago here was the commentator from Nitro Circus.
Oh, wow.
Bruce Robson. And he's...
Why are all these guys called Bruce?
Yeah.
Even Bruce.
Bruce from
the UFC, his brother is the boxing commentator.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think his name's Bruce as well, but he's like the world #1 boxing commentator.
They've all got mics. Bruce, what?
Over to you, Bruce.
Yeah.
You know?
But he's done 25 years of flying around the world 7 times a year.
Yeah.
And he's single.
Yeah.
Because that's been his entire life. Well, his entire life has been like that. I reckon just like some musicians can't do it, like you might have a girlfriend early on, that's your territory, and then you've got your wife. I don't think anyone could go away after that and be a commentator for Nitro Circus.
Yeah.
And hang out in a tour for 3 months.
Yeah.
No.
I'll tell you.
I know I couldn't.
I was talking to one of the guys who was with us, one of my mates from Dublin, and he got up and he said, I said to him, man, I had this fear this morning. And he said, yeah, I know what you mean. I said, I got up and I started thinking, like, you've got the blinds down in the room, you haven't seen daylight for 5 days. Again, I'm sounding like an alcoholic. I'm stressed. This is a once every 10-year event. The next one will probably kill me if I do it in 10 years. And you're in the room, you haven't seen daylight for 5 days, you've been eating junk food, drinking like a freak, and then you're getting 3 hours sleep a night, and then you get up to go to the bathroom, and you stagger back to your bed, and you get into bed, and your heart is just racing. You've been drinking 2 cans of Red Bull every night before going out. Your heart is just racing, and you're thinking, man, I just walked 10 steps, and I feel like I've just run 100 flights of stairs. And you're waiting for your heart to slow down, and you're looking around this dark hotel room, going, man, I don't want to die here. Right. And I know it sounds dramatic,
but fear.
Really. You lying in bed for a couple of hours thinking, and you can't sleep, and the room's dark, and you can hear these noises in other rooms, and you start thinking, man, this is hell. This place is the Hotel California. You cannot. Right. And then you have to get up and do something else. And you're like, we've got to get out.
That's an instinct. It must be an instinct that you're not in your...
Well, you're in danger. You know what I mean? As I said, people die doing that. And you go, we got to get out. And then I spoke to my mate about it. He said,
think of how stupid it is to be able to fly to another country to see some really earthy barbaric thing, and find yourself going, well, what team am I in as a man, or as a person? And I spoke to my mate, and he was just like, man, I freaked out. He said, I was in the room yesterday, and I had this panic attack that we weren't going to get out of this place. Wow. You know, he was like, and the funny thing was, though, when we left the MGM, we went on the street, the air hit us. You felt like, okay, I'm back to normal now. I've got air. I've got the wind hitting me. I might be freezing, but I can feel I can feel a sensation. And then the minute you go back to the MGM, that air conditioning hits you. The noise of the place, the hum of the air conditioners, and the oxygen, and the wild crowd, and like you're walking. And by the way, they would have thought hard about making that good for them.
Yeah.
So the oxygen would be just one of the tricks.
Oh man, it's like Dante's Inferno. You come into the MGM and you're walking in there in the middle of the day. Like, we went into other hotels and the air was nice and there were no hookers, you know. And then you go back to the MGM and they're all just sitting there on the slot machines in mini skirts, like spinning around in the chair in front of you as you walk past. And we're just like 5 of us, 6 of us, just clinging together, going, "Let's just get back to the room." you know, don't make eye contact with anybody. You know, you're just trying to get back to the room. You become quite suspicious and fearful after 5 days because you're completely scattered. You know what I mean?
You know, a long time ago in Sydney when I was smoking weed. Yeah. When I discovered weed and I was living alone and and you know I was old too. I was really late 20s even.
All right,
I didn't even touch it until late 20s. So I remember getting this fear a lot back then of like a panic of, but as you say it was exactly that. I could actually visualize like planes crashing in this part of the city, or visualize that standing under. I had this one that I'd see like a door frame like that.
Yeah,
I lived in this 100-year-old place.
Yeah,
and it had a concrete sort of. For some reason, I visualized all the time that this thing would break and fall on my forehead.
Yeah.
Isn't that weird? And it was a constant like paranoia I would have about that thing. But I wonder if it was just like you said, I'm just an animal. You're in the wrong place.
It's like
not
a
necessarily
feng
doing the wrong
shui
thing.
almost thing. You know what I mean? It's like,
but this isn't your place.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Get out. There's danger around here, which there was. I was in the middle of Surrey Hills in Sydney. There was heaps of junkies and people breaking in and all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I had a family in Brisbane, so there was no reason to be there.
Yeah. You get that, and you attach it to one thing you can see because it's something you can't see, and I shouldn't be here. You know, it's yeah. So I'll never go back to Vegas.
The fear.
I'll never
what
go
do
back
hookers
there.
have then?
What do you mean?
We can't speak for women, but we're like, what? I wonder if women. God, what is that? You know, Porno for Pyros, that band.
Yeah.
He's got this great song, man. I think about it all the time. There's two. It's a song for ladies and a song for men. So Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction, joined, created this band. But he's got this one song that I think about every day. It's a song for, I can't think of the word, but the girls one. I always think about. He always says they're cursed. Women are cursed. The song sort of goes on about how, they can, at any time, they could be raped and murdered, led down alleys because they're living in this land with animals.
Yeah.
But the blokes curse is that by the time they get enough money, they're not sexy for any women, like by nature. They've got the car and they try and show off with all these stupid things, but but in effect, like, you've missed your boat. You can only pay for women now in whatever way. So, cursed, beautiful, born a female. There's none that suffer more. It's a great song. I always think about it.
Oh man, I am.
So do women get that fear?
I don't know. I mean, I'm not a woman.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
because they can live with all sorts of dicks. Like all sorts
idiots.
of idiots.
Yeah.
And just support them.
Yeah, no, it was a very weird scene. That the MGM is hardcore Vegas. You know what I mean? It's not like that. And we didn't know that. We were freaking out in there, kind of going, this place is a bit fucked up, basically. And then we left, and then we went into other hotels. We went to the Bellagio. You can choose, mate. Thanks. So that Koala Cola is really nice, actually. It makes you burp, but it's nice little chill out.
Something.
Chill out. It's like the opposite of an energy drink, yeah?
Yeah, it's good.
Sponsored by Koala Cola.
Well, they give them to me.
Oh, mate, they're nice.
Yeah, look, there's boxes here.
Oh, yeah, no, they are really nice, tasty drink, and it's an opposite of an energy drink, so it makes you actually...
Yeah, it's great with alcohol.
Yeah, it just makes you relax.
Yeah.
But, so what else can I tell you about the MGM? I mean, there was mayhem in there,
My story I stayed at the MGM.
You did?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
In 1999.
Yeah.
No.
How long were you
1998.
there? Okay.
I was there for only about 4 nights, right? But what we did, I don't even remember why we were there. It was like we went to the other side of America.
You would have been what, like 17?
No, I was 20. It was exactly the time I was just telling you about.
Okay.
But maybe another year. So I was 28. I was actually 28, I think.
Yeah.
And we did all this other stuff in the Midwest of America, like buying sprint car parts to bring home, putting them in a container to bring home, and watching races.
Yeah. Great.
But we thought we'd drop into Las Vegas to just be in Las Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we went to a strip club, the Palomino.
Okay.
Which if you look up any old...
is it in Old Vegas? Is it down the other end?
Yeah, we definitely had to drive from the MGM.
Yeah, that's the Old Vegas. Yeah, that's,
And but I remember going to this strip club and the sign is like very recognizable on all those old cop shows. And
why is it like the cowboy waving his hat or
that
something?
kind of stuff? Yeah. It's like this, like a Palomino, like a horse and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we were in there, and then once we got in there, we're like, hang on, we're the only dudes in here at all. There's like no one in here.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 like bouncers looking at us going, look, with this kind of face. And the girls were coming out and doing their strip, but it wasn't anything. It was just like Gold Coast strip. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then they were like, "Hey, you got to tip the girls." We're like, but they're on the stage. It's like, we're not, we weren't sitting. We were sitting in a booth. We weren't sitting on the typical stage. Yeah. Like, what? We got to stand up and walk stuff. So we went, nah. We're Aussies. We don't. Yeah. And after about 4 or 5 girls doing that, and we were the only ones in the booth. They were aggressively. Even the guy on the microphone. Come on, guys! You got to tip these girls. And we left. Yeah. But I remember waking up the next morning, and I didn't gamble like poker machines. That's all bullshit to me.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I've never played a poker in my life.
Yeah,
it just does not interest me whatsoever.
No. But I remember going for a walk in the morning, because I like to, get the sun on my face. But I went for a walk, and I walked 2 blocks.
ran the other 6.
Oh man, I was the only one. I'll never forget America, because I'd always do that. And there's just not a single person walking. It's a different culture. Like, it's not like.
And the cars absolutely fly around Vegas. Like, they drive so fast around there. You know what I mean? It's a dangerous place. You don't want to be walking on this anywhere, basically. Yeah. And we did that little walk, and there was crack addicts everywhere following us, and we were just like, "Let's go!"
Wow.
Yeah, no, it's a good trip. Man. But good trip. Great to catch up with the guys.
Do you have anything similar in Ireland?
To Las Vegas?
Yeah, like some sort of big area that you'd watch a show?
They've made everything illegal over there.
Really?
Yeah, they've made so much.
Did they actually made something for
gambling? Gambling was illegal. They did have back in back 15 years ago. They used to have lap dancing clubs in Leeson Street, which was an area of town. But I was never in one. Again, I personally feel bloody awkward in those situations. Like, I feel really like, what are we doing? This is creepy. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it's money, and
I don't even like in Australia, you've got these topless waitress bars. I don't go to them because I just feel creepy. You know what I mean? It just weirds me out that you would do that. You know?
We had this one. I would have told you before, but I worked in a bar for 8 months here, and every Wednesday and Friday at the Backpage Sports Bar. Yeah. We had this, the same girl, she had big fake boobs, but beautiful body, beautiful girl, yada, yada. I'm trying to think of her name. I can't think of it, but so every Friday and every Wednesday afternoon, she'd be topless in a G-string and be serving drinks to guys, right? So it was a big tradies deal.
Yeah.
And everyone, Lisa or something. Anyway, I'll tell her because she's kind of an icon. Everyone knew her because she was always there. But even though she was basically naked, I could only look her in the eyes. I felt so. I wanted to. Hey, look at me. Yeah, like we're mates. Like, we're not.
Yeah.
I can't just look straight at your nipples. I can't. But the interesting thing about her.
Yeah.
And this was. Once we all worked it out, it was pretty crazy. So you'd have all these tradies there that you don't know in the bar, even though you worked there. As soon as she was putting her clothes back on, if she was taking her clothes off or putting her clothes back on, it was sexy. It was a real woman doing real woman things.
Yeah.
And dudes were just like, whoa. We were all like, wow, look at her putting her clothes back on. It was real something special. But if she was to stand there, it was too, this doesn't compute. You know what I mean? You're not doing a real woman thing. Mate, that's what it would be.
You know what the comedian Doug...
No real woman would come up to you in the street topless, so it's not real. It's just not sexy even.
The comedian Doug Stanhope says that it's the things you're not supposed to see in that regard that make you go, oh, you know what I mean? Where if it's just, okay, it's on show, you kind of go, oh, everybody's looking at this and it doesn't mean anything. But if you catch a glimpse of her getting changed, you kind of go, oh, look, she's coming out in a minute. Great. And then she comes out, back to the beers.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I'd go, if a girl was sort of giving me attention, a Crazy Horse or something in Surfers Paradise, like, oh, man, she likes me,
Yeah.
But hang on, man, now she's talking to some other dude. I actually, as a dude, I would just go, oh, she doesn't like me. And then when she came back, I'm like,
yeah, one of the guys with us.
We're too simple, I think.
One of the guys with us, he's single. He thought he'd pulled, and he was talking to a girl for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, buying her a drink, and then she's like, so what room are you in? He just looks at me like, oh, she's a hooker. Damn it. Just a crack up, man. He's a funny guy. That's the guy that spent all that money, and the only thing he had to show was a fridge magnet. Maniac. He's a funny guy. Yeah. One of the guys got his nipple.
How would they be feeling? See, who was here the other day? Martin Rawlinson.
Who's he?
Martin, from Mount Woodgie Surfboards, web developer, the English guy.